Just like good evening, this is Tibet This Week, a weekly feature that provides a review of this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Central Tibetan Administration. Today's headlines. Former Indian Foreign Secretary calls His Holiness the Dalai Lama's demand for genuine autonomy legitimate. 16th Parliament concludes third session, pledges to re-energize the global Tibet movement. Two-day Thank You India program concludes successfully in Chennai. Overseas offices of Tibet organize various Tibet-related events. Tibet TV releases Women's Empowerment Song. On Thursday last week, former Indian Foreign Secretary and former Ambassador Kanwal Sibal said His Holiness the Dalai Lama's agenda of seeking genuine self-rule for Tibet and respect for Tibetan autonomy is a legitimate demand. During an interactive session held at Department of Information and International Relations, Lakwatsiring Hall, the former Indian diplomat argued over the presence of large Chinese military in Tibet and said it contradicts China's claims of Tibet being an autonomous region. He highlighted the important advances that India could make in terms of strengthening its Tibet policy and shoulder more responsibility in resolving the issue of Tibet. The former Indian diplomat's visit to Dharamshala was facilitated by the Tibetan Parliament in exile. On Saturday last week, the 16th Tibetan Parliament concluded its third session following 11 days of comprehensive deliberations and discussions on CTA's budget for the financial year 2017 and 18 and the situation inside Tibet. Speaker Khenpo Sonam Tembe, in his concluding remarks, expressed his satisfaction over the active participation of the parliamentarians and highlighted the deteriorating political and human rights situation inside Tibet, as proved by the latest self-immolation protest of Pema Genze that took place in eastern Tibet. Speaker also pledged that the Tibetan Parliament would exert extra efforts in galvanizing the global Tibet movement and ameliorate the situation of Tibetans inside Tibet. The Speaker also expressed the Parliament's commitment towards fostering dialogue based on middle way approach and urged China to resume the stalled Sino-Tibetan dialogue to peacefully resolve the Tibet issue. A two-day Thank You India program organized jointly by the Tibet Museum of Department of Information and International Relations and India-Tibet Coordination Office based in New Delhi concluded successfully last Sunday at Madras University in Chennai. Speakers at the concluding ceremony of the program were eminent Tibet scholars and academicians from Madras University and Loyola College. A prominent Tibet scholar, Claude R.P., spoke on the geopolitical significance of Tibet to India and other Asian countries. The other speakers spoke on issues relating to Tibet, including China's rapid industrialization and mining of Tibetan Plateau, human rights violation in Tibet, CTA and its democratic evolution, historical bond shared between Tibet and China based on Nalanda teachings and Tibetan medical tradition of healing. The event drew attention of hundreds, including university students and city-goers. Let's take a look at some of the activities of overseas offices of Tibet. On Tuesday this week, Office of Tibet Brussels Representative Tsewang Phuntso briefed the participants of the Tibet Lobby Day, a campaign initiated by International Campaign for Tibet Brussels. Representative Chembe Tsering of Office of Tibet London raised the Tibetan national flag at the Niposan Myohoji Buddhist Temple in Milton Keynes, United Kingdom. On Friday last week, Latin America Representative Tsewang Phuntso visited the northern Chile's city of Arica and spoke at one of its schools, where a pilot project on secular ethics in education has been launched. The representative also visited University of Tarapacá, where he gave a formal talk on the urgency of secular ethics in education and to launch similar program in other cities. On March 12th, the first official Tibetan Women's Day was observed. On that day, female artists of Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts performed a women's empowerment song amid the gracious presence of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The song makes a powerful invocation of women's intellectual and compassionate prowess and advocates women's empowerment for peaceful leadership in the world. Tibet TV is releasing the song on YouTube and social media. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Have a good weekend.